Had him right where you wanted him, Coach.
I don't know about that. That was a, that was just a gutsy performance by our guys. I thought we struggled for 3 quarters. We just could not get into a real rhythm, and I saw it early. We didn't look very energized at the beginning. But as I told the guys after the game, there are going to be some games where you're going to play like that. Through an 82-game schedule, you're not going to play. You're not going to put the perfect game together every time. There's going to be some games where you're just going to have to grind it and gut it out. And I'm very proud of our group because they did that tonight. When they were down, I don't know what the biggest lead was, 16 or 18, but 18. But they didn't quit. They kept pushing. They kept pushing, and every time out, I tried to give them a marker as far as where we wanted to be at a certain time in that quarter, and they just kept the course with that, and they never gave up, and I'm just proud of them, very proud.
Coach, you said a lot that you need this team to be a kind of a dog type of team, just a real gritty, grimy team. Just talk about how that translated into the fourth quarter where you guys were able to make the run.
Well, I make a lot of reference to the fact that every night that we step out on the floor, we have to have a blue-collar mentality. We have to outwork people. We can't, it's not always going to be pretty. It's got to be a situation of us just going out there and outworking our opponent. We weren't getting that early. I made some substitutions, which I thought, the guys who I thought that were really showing the energy, and the guys that were playing together the best. And I left Al in there. Al played a lot of forward tonight, which I thought was a big key for us because we were able to post him, and he got into a real good rhythm. But again, we're a team that every single night we step out on the floor. Our mentality has to be to outwork our opponent. There's no other way that we're gonna win games. We have to outwork our opponent. So obviously you got to make some shots, but we can never come into a game plan being passive, being soft. It has to be the mindset of that blue-collar mentality of outworking our opponents, and we just kept grinding in that fourth quarter, came out with it.
Speaking about, you mentioned him earlier, he went into the half with only 2, but then he ended up finishing, I think, with 14, 15. Let's talk about what he was able to do differently. Was it going to the 4 that really helped him get more looks?
I think going to the 4 helped a lot, and he was doing a great job defensively, and I thought that kind of got him going, where he got out a few times on the break. But Al is he's a guy that I know when come crunch time, he's a spirited guy. And during the timeouts, he just kept telling the guys, let's just keep pushing, let's keep pushing. But he got into a good rhythm in that fourth quarter, and as I said, he did some really good things defensively, and it really helped us.
Go ahead.
Speaking of defense, in the last 4 minutes 53 seconds, you outscored Philly 15-1 after the missed fast breakdown. Talk about the defensive intensity in the second half and particularly the fourth quarter.
Well, we did a tremendous job, I thought, going down that last 5 minutes of that stretch. We wanted to try to keep them off balance, and one of my coaches made a great call coming out of a timeout as far as an adjustment to a pick and roll coverage, which I thought might have been probably the biggest call of that fourth quarter. But we did a really good job in adapting to the different situations, the pick and rolls, the posting. We just kept changing our defense. We kept mixing our defense just to keep them off balance, just to keep them guessing. And that seemed to help. And once we got the ball, we were going back the other way. But overall, we did a great job defensively. We made the adjustments we had to make, and forced him into some tough shots. Got the rebound, went back on the other way.
What happened with Josh there in the fourth quarter? He seemed to come out kind of upset, and he didn't go back in for a while when you guys are making that run.
Well, we were in a situation of what I thought we had to be a little bit more focused of getting the ball inside and getting the ball to the basket. And he took 2 ill-advised shots. You know, which in that situation, when the game is a grind, we can't settle for those type shots. And I've explained that to him, and he did it again. So I took him out the game. I really thought, actually, even before I put him back in, both Zaza and Al were playing together very well. They were into a really good rhythm. At the start of the fourth quarter, I actually subbed Josh in to give Al a blow. And the minute I did that, their lead went right back up on a couple of bad offensive possessions. And I just thought that I got to go with what was working. And what was working was actually, in this particular game, was Zaza and Al playing together with Jamal, Mike on the floor, and Marvin. So I went with my gut, and I'm glad I did that.
Speaking of Z, talk about that big rebound. Jamal Crawford rarely misses 2 free throws in a game, let alone in a row. Then he comes and gets that big board and kicks it back out to Z.
Huge. That was huge. I mean, we missed 2 free throws. They have a chance to get the ball, come back, and I think we were up 1 at the time. And Z came up with the offensive rebound. Just a huge play. And we tell our guys all the time, you know, we can't take anything for granted on the free throw line. So he was, you know, he came up with a big play. What else can I say? He just made a really big came up with a big rebound in that particular situation.
Could you talk about your offense after the first quarter? It seems like after that quarter, you settled for a lot of jump shots in the opening period. And it seems like throughout the game, you made a more concerted effort to get into the post and get into the paint.
I was really concerned, you know, with our offense. I didn't think that we were very sharp in running our offense. You know, we settled, you know, which I talk a lot about, you know, with what we run. You know, we'll do enough things to give us the movement, but we cannot settle for the perimeter shot, especially when we've gone maybe 3 or 4 trips up and down the floor and we haven't gotten anything. It can't be a situation of us settling for perimeter shots. We've got to get the ball inside, and we've got to establish our inside game. But I thought tonight we settled a little bit. I got to give Philadelphia credit too, because they did a good job defending us. You know, but again, there are going to be some nights where the offense won't be there. The shots won't be there. The energy may not be there. But you have to keep grinding. You have to keep believing. And I just thought, you know, after struggling a great majority of the game, you know, we kept believing. In that fourth quarter, we buckled down defensively. We made some shots, and we came out with a win.
Obviously, much better going into the rope with a win. I mean, you got Miami and Orlando.
Well, we always talk about, you know, whenever we go out on the road, our game prior to going out on the road, we call it a getaway game, and it's a game that you certainly want to win so that you can feel good about going out on the road. We want to win, period, because we have not established ourselves home the way we should at this particular point. So any win we get at home is a huge win.